वेलकम टू माय क्विक सर्च चैनल। फ्रेंड्स, इस वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे जो अभी दिसंबर में एग्जाम आने वाले हैं। ठीक है, जो बैचलर डिग्री के स्टूडेंट हैं पीएचडी प्रोग्राम के, उनके एक सब्जेक्ट का कंप्लीट नोट्स हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे। जो बीजीसी 133 है, जो इंग्लिश मीडियम का सब्जेक्ट है, उनका फुल कंप्लीट जो बुक है उसका हम लोग इसमें स्टडी मटेरियल जो है उनका देखेंगे एग्जाम पर्पज से। एकदम मेन टॉपिक जो हॉट टॉपिक है एंड पूरे कंप्लीट नोट्स इसमें हम देखेंगे। और वह वीडियो कंप्लीट इंग्लिश मीडियम में होगा फ्रेंड्स, क्योंकि वो सब्जेक्ट इंग्लिश का है। तो फ्रेंड्स, अगर इस वीडियो से आपको हेल्प लगेगा तो प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए एंड फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर कीजिएगा जो BGC 133 के स्टूडेंट्स हैं। और फ्रेंड्स, ये आपको डिस्प्ले पे जो दिख रहा है, ये BGC 133, BGC 134, BPSC 133 एंड MEG 1 to 16 और BCA, BCom, BSc और BA प्रोग्राम, ये जितने भी कोर्स आप देख रहे हैं इन सब के नोट्स हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। जिनको अगर एग्जाम पर्पज से नोट्स चाहिए एग्जाम के प्रिपरेशन के लिए, जो दिसंबर में एग्जाम होने वाले हैं, हो सकता है थोड़ा सा स्टैंड भी हो, बट एग्जाम होगा जनवरी फरवरी तक एग्जाम हो जाएगा, ये दिसंबर में भी हो सकता है। तो जो एग्जाम होंगे उनके कंप्लीट नोट्स हम इस वीडियो में जो डिस्कस करेंगे वो BEGC 133 के बारे में, जो कंप्लीट इंग्लिश मीडियम है। और वो आपको इतना बेहतर सॉल्यूशंस निकाला गया है ताकि आपको कहीं अदर सोर्सेज पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगा। वो काफ़ी बहुत ज़्यादा आपके लिए हेल्पफुल है और वो पढ़ के आप बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स स्कोर कर सकते हैं। काफ़ी मतलब हेल्पफुल होगा आपके लिए, वो बहुत मेहनत करके वो बनाया गया। बहुत एकदम पूरे मतलब पूरा यूनिट आप कवर किए हैं। ब्लॉक 1 2 3 4 जितने ब्लॉक है BGC 133 में सभी ब्लॉक कवर किए। तो फ्रेंड, जिनको भी ये चाहिए आप हमसे कांटेक्ट कर लीजिएगा। और अगर वीडियो देख के आप पढ़ पा रहे हैं तो आप मेरे लिए ज़्यादा अच्छा है कि आप वीडियो से आपको हेल्प हो पा रहा है। और जो भी और अदर इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए आप मेरे वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन को चेक कर लीजिएगा, डिस्क्रिप्शन में सब कुछ दिया गया है। फ्रेंड्स, चलते हैं वीडियो देखते हैं। आप आगे अब वीडियो कंटिन्यू करते हैं।
Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the IGNU back courses. One of its course is BEGC 133, that is British literature. Since this particular course is very new, in the IGNU, so many students are confused what to study, how to study, and from where they can get their materials. So this is the video about this. Now, as all the courses have divided into blocks, so first block of this particular course is in the first block of this particular course we have to study Shakespeare's Macbeth. As you know, Shakespeare is one of the most important writer of English literature. Those who are studying English literature, they are quite, or those who are not studying English literature, at least they know the name Shakespeare. So we have to study first work that we have to study in this work, Shakespeare's drama Macbeth. Now, before studying this drama, or any drama or any work of literature, we have to know its background, its historical background. So it makes easier for the student uh, to understand the whole text. So the first thing we should study, or we have to study in this course, is the Elizabethan world. As you know, the uh, Renaissance has a time period of 1500 to 1660, and in Renaissance there are four ages: Elizabethan age, Jacobean age, the Caroline age, and the Commonwealth age. So the Elizabethan age is from the time period 1558 to 1603. So we have to keep in mind this whole time division, and the what was the Elizabethan world, what were the social and religious norms of that time. So we have to study about this. The second thing we have to study is the humanist thought. So what is humanist thought? That human are the central of the universe, and this idea was became so much famous in the Elizabethan world. That's why I have said that you have to know about the Elizabethan world, and in that you will study about the humanist thought. Now one question that where you could study these things. So obviously IGNOU has provided you the study materials. From there you can get a brief point, but if you want to study in detail, and if you want to get information in detail, you are interested in it, for this you can consult the William J. Long book, that is the English literature by William J. Long, and also you can study from Albert Albert. This is also the history of English literature. For these types of humanist thought or idealism, this type of keywords or this type of words you can get from a glossary of English literature by M.H. Abraham. It is a very classic book for literature students. Now the third thing you have to study the drama in the Renaissance world. This In this you will study about the features of drama of the Renaissance world, since drama has started from very ancient period, from Greek and Roman period, and from old ages there was drama. There was you have to study the drama of Renaissance world. What was the features of Renaissance drama? So you can this topic also you can study from the same, that William J. Long or Edward Albert. And if you have studied these books you can also consult David Deutsch, and also you can, okay, yes, you can consult David Deutsch. It is a very good book, but it has elaborated to some extent. So for a brief and for a simple brief knowledge, you can consult to William J. Long and Edward Albert. But if you want a it in very expanded form, or if you want to know something more, you can consult David Deutsch. From this you will know about the Globe Theatre, which was where the Shakespearean plays were performed, and also about the five major theatres at that time in England. Now the 4 point you have to focus is drama and the censorship in the Elizabethan England. So drama, since there came a time when drama was banned, because it was believed that it is corrupting the people. So you should study those history, that how drama was banned, why banned, something like that. And in fifth point you have to study about the date of play. This particular play is written around 1606, and it is in Canto 1. All the Shakespearean play, excluding only two plays, are in Canto first, which was published, and it contains all the dramas of Shakespeare. Now talking about the performance, it was first performed in the Globe Theatre. I already talked about the Globe Theatre, that in Globe Theatre maximum Shakespearean works were performed. And yes, Shakespeare also performed in some of dramas, not his own drama, but some other writers drama he has performed. uh, and it was performed in April 20, 1611. Now we have to talk about the sources of Macbeth. Sources of that where the idea of Macbeth came in Shakespeare's mind. These things: summary, for summary you can also consult to the given study material. Also you can consult to various sites which provide a very good summary of any text. You can visit to study.com or spark notes, these sites. So you have to see the summary. For analysis in your assignments there is a part of analysis, reference to context type of questions, and for that you have to study properly the text. And if you don't want to study the text or you can't understand the text, you can go for the line by line analysis or stanza wise analysis or act wise analysis. It will make things clear to you. So for this you can also consult to the to some internet, and also you can get it from the study material. i'm not uh, I'm not telling about any book in this for analysis and summary, because it will become very hard to get books, to get authentic books for these. Most of the things which are in market or in internet are mostly guides, and it's not good. So, and the books which are authentic are so much costly, so that's why. Now we have to look, since this drama is very famous and very important one, so we have to look about the major scenes. For example, the banquet scene, where the banquet scene, the Hecate scene, the sleepwalking scene of Lady Macbeth, or the tragic end where Macduff kills Macbeth, and when Macbeth murders Duncan, uh, or a scene where Macbeth meets to the three witches. Now, on 10th, we have to study about the major characters: Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Macduff, three witches. Apart from that, you have to study about the criticism of Shakespeare, criticism of Macbeth. For this, you can easily go for the study material, because you you have to study all these criticism, but not in detail. Don't go for line by line book reading. Just stick to the key points and you are good to go. So first we have to study the Samuel Johnson's preface to Shakespeare. Second is S.T. Coleridge on Macbeth. Third is Thomas De Quincey on the knocking at the gate in Macbeth. Fourth is A.C. Bradley Shakespearean tragedy. Fifth is Marxist approach to Macbeth, and the sixth is cultural materialism. These don't read it in detail, just go through the important points, that the points which explains Macbeth or which are about the Macbeth, you can read it, and or you can get it, and you can get it from the study material of IGNOU as well. Now talking about the block 2, which is in which we have to study the Thomas Hardy's Far from the Madding Crowd. In this, since earlier we have studied about drama, so now we have to study a novel which is Far from the Madding Crowd. So you can get an idea what is a novel. Then the history of English novel, since the novel started from the 18th century, from its so you have to study its development from you have to study its development from 18th century to till now, to the postmodern, that is 21st century. Apart from that, apart and also you have since it is a 18th century novel, also you and there was a sudden rise in the popularity of novel. So you have to study about the reasons of rise of novel in the 18th century. Apart now let's come to our writer, that is Thomas Hardy. So as I told that any work is so much related to its writer, so we have to know about his age as well as about the writer. So we have to read about the Thomas Hardy's life, Hardy's classification of novels. And he classified his novels into three groups. First is novel of character and environment, second is romances and fantasies, and third is novels of ingenuity. Now, the sixth thing we have to study about the Hardy's Wessex. Wessex is a place in Hardy's novels and poems. He have he have used the characteristic of this particular place. Maybe it's an imaginary or a real place, but he has used its characters in its poems, and in his poems as well as in his characters of the novel as well. And seventh thing that we have to study is Thomas Hardy's and novel of realism. Realism was very famous in his novel. He uh, wrote novels which are so much real that you could connect to it. So we have to study about the novel of realism by novel of realism which he wrote. uh, and now the salient features of Hardy's novel. Hardy's novel were so much famous, and he has some own features that are only seen in his own only in his novels. So we have to know about these features. And now ninth thing is Hardy's religious beliefs. uh, we have to know about his religious beliefs because it some way or the other it makes sense to know about his beliefs, his idea of his religious as well as his social beliefs. So know about the religious beliefs of Hardy. And now the key element of all the works, that is the summary of the work as well as the analysis. For analysis, again you can visit to any site, or you can go for the study material by IGNOU. You have to read it line by line, because for the reference to context questions you have to know about the line of the novel or a drama. You have to know about it. So if you want to tackle all the questions, if you want to know each and everything that is prescribed in your course, you have to study with you have to study. Now on apart from that, you have to study about the major characters of Far From Madding Ground, Far From Madding Crowd. Now, in the third thing which is prescribed in the course is G.V. Shaw's Arms and the Man. Since we have studied in the block one, we have seen that we have to study in block one a Renaissance drama, that is a Shakespearean drama. Now it is a modern drama, Arms and the Man by G.V. Shaw. So first we have to talk about the G.V. Shaw's life. That's quite this is quite now common that we will study about the writer in each work. Now, Bernard Shaw and socialism. Earlier, we have seen the Hardy's thought and Hardy's idea upon the realism. Now, it's Bernard Shaw and the socialism. And but now we have to study about the Bernard Shaw as a dramatist. We have to know his major works. Now, the fifth thing, which is already common, uh, Amps and the Man, summary and analysis. This particular work, drama, is in three acts, and the writer has very beautifully presented this 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 particular drama. And again, you have to study the major characters, about the title of the play, that why this play has title Arms and the Man. uh, Now, some key features, some you can say criticism, or some from these questions can be asked that Arms and the Man, these types of questions are simply asked that Arms and the Man as a you have to describe the Arms and the Man as a anti-romantic comedy. So you have to know about it. Now, reception of Arms and the Man, that when it was written, when it was performed, what was the background of this particular play. So it was written in 26 November 1893, and in between 26 November 1893 and 30 March 1894, it was first performed on 21st April 1894. And the background of this particular play is the Serbo-Bulgarian War, which was in 1885. The two themes which are major themes of this work. Other than that, there are so many themes you can study, or you can get if you go through the text. The first is theme of war, and second is theme of love. Now, talking about the block 4, that is Alfred Tennyson's Morte d'Arthur. It is a poet. It is a poem, and it is a Victorian poem. So we have to know about the Victorian age and its characteristic, the difference between the Romantic and Victorian and modern poetry. We have to, Victorian age, preceding age was Romantic age, and after that the modern age came. So we have to distinguish between these three, that what were the features, what were the differences, what were the similarities in these three ages. Now, Victorian play with reference to Tennyson. We have to study about this. Themes of the poem Morte d'Arthur. When we read a poem, it is very important to know about its theme, as well as to know about its language, that what type of language is used, what are the poetic diction, what is the poetic diction, and what are the uh, poetic is used. Now, other than that, we have to study about the themes and poetic diction. And there is a difference in epic and morte d'art. The epic and the morte d'art. The epic is the work written by Alfred Tennyson, and morte d'art poem is in between these epic. The first 15 lines of epic, then morte d'art, Arthur, and then the last 30 lines of the poem. So it is in between already. It is already published poem, so it is a part of an epic. Now, the sixth point, that is summary, and go for the line by line analysis of this particular poem. This particular poem is very important. You should go to the line by line to the for the line by line analysis. Now, the seventh thing is symbols in their and their significance. This particular poem has so many symbols which signify so many things, which is not uh, which can't be understood by a single read. If you read it single time, so you have to read about the symbols and its significance. And the last thing, about the characters in the poem. Read about the characters in the poem, and also stick to their names, know about their role in this particular poem. if you able to if you're able to complete these things, you are good to go with this particular paper, with this particular course. And stay tuned, I will also make some videos on other courses as well. So I have talked about the books. So this is the M.H. Abraham book with the glossary of English literature. This is 11th edition I have. And other two books that I have mentioned is this one. It is by Oxford, Edward Albert, History of English Literature. Also, this William J. Long, English Literature. So, if you want, you can go through these books. You will find all the background and about the writers in these two books. So, go through that if you like it. And thank you.